Welcome back into Daybreak this morning. Once again, let me explain. I'm Bob Green sitting in for Jimmy Dale this week. He's not gone. He's just taking some time off now. So if you're worried that Jimmy Dale might not be on anymore, he'll be back and I'll be gone real soon. So just hang in there. Jimmy Dale will be back tomorrow morning. He's got all his sports and everything lined up with his interviews. So 61 degrees about that outside now, going up to somewhere around 82 degrees today. Have with me my guest today, Mayor Jim Heigl, the mayor of Sylacauga. And political season, it's always political season for a politician, but you know, I guess the campaigning is over, and
thank goodness.
We're not going to talk about getting votes or why we should vote for you, because we're stuck with you for 4 years.
4 more years, and might as well live with it.
But Jim, congratulations on being re-elected, the overwhelming vote without a runoff. And let's take a different approach today. In Sylacauga, and most of the time we come up here and sit around, we talk about the bad things going on in Sylacauga. Let's talk about some of the good things. And one of the highlights I think we got in Sylacauga,
outweigh the bad things, so don't worry about it.
One of the highlights we got is Lake Howard.
It is beautiful, Lake Howard. We were meeting this morning at 9 a.m. Of course, the Lake Howard Authority. We always had authority here, but when I came in office, we brought it back together again, reactivated it with the 5 councilmen and the 3 appointed officials of the board, of the utilities board. And mainly because to protect the water up there, because we do use about 20–25% of that water for our potable water system. And it's very important that we protect it.
Well, yeah, Lake Howard can be used as a recreational facility too. I know the city has really updated Lake Howard with your Mr. Bean, your manager,
Billy Bean, very
Billy
good
Bean,
man.
the manager out there. I mean, you got new boat docks, you got boat slips, you got a new boat dock.
Caretaker's house has been redone, refurbished.
You know, I've been thinking about
bathrooms.
I finally got bathrooms out there. I've been thinking about now for 2 months going fishing. Tell you how far I got. I got 4 fishing poles. I got my cooler. I got my tackle box and everything in the back of my truck in my garage, waiting to go. The only thing I need to do is put my lawn chair, and I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing out there. But I think it'd be great to just go out and sit on the dock or fish and catch fish.
We got a new pier out there. There's plenty of room up and around the banks.
Another plus we got for Sylacauga is the library.
The library, absolutely. We are nationally known with that. Our library, gosh, is outstanding. We have a group in there now, you know, looking at a documentary for our city. We don't know how far we can get with this thing, but they were so impressed with the marbles. And the library is not just someplace you go get a book anymore. You got computers in there, you got the arts, you got all kinds of meetings that's held in our library. It's just a beautiful structure that we have.
I think libraries are progressing from, say, books and stuff like that, really to the media center and computer. And I know when the pandemic is finally declared over and all this, we get back to the brown bag series, which was really wonderful.
You put 200 or 300 people in there, 400 people.
It was really great every week and things of that nature. And then we got the museum, and it's one of the. Lake Howard's a well-kept secret, but
well, with the Penholdy Trail and the Sylacauga Trail, you know, coming in together, there we got a group of people coming through here now with the Sylacauga Trail, and they're learning about our biking and hiking through our Sylacauga Trail as well, which are all out in Lake Howard.
Well, the museum has activities every month, and it's just a fine place to go and walk around and look at the
history of Sylacauga.
What's going on in Sylacauga. And we've got, you know, a lot of things, and we've got something that's really important in Sylacauga that the city has really worked hard on the last few years is animal shelter.
It is. We've progressed quite well in the animal shelter. Connie, who we have out there now, she's going to retire probably around the 1st or the last of April of next year, and we're going to go ahead and prepare, you know, to get somebody out there. We have 3 permanent employees, Connie and two other out there, and then of course we have people that come in from other areas to help out, to volunteer their work and everything else. We will meet with, after the election, the swearing in ceremony. The election is over with, but the swearing in of our new councilman.
When's that going to be?
Well, we need to work with Childersburg, Oak Grove, Talladega, and also our county commissioner for District 5. And that would be Philip Morris when he gets in the office. We need this. We're overabundant with animals. We need to find out why. We're trying the neuter system, and it's working to a certain extent.
Okay.
But we need some more help in the south end of Talladega County because with the amount of animals that we do receive.
When is the inauguration, swearing in for the city of Sylacauga?
November 2nd, I believe it is. I'd have to look at the calendar and make sure. I believe it's November the 2nd.
You know what time?
More than likely, it'll probably be about 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Now, don't hold me to that, but it'll be advertised. In my opinion, I think we ought to have it at 9, get it over with. It'll be pretty close to 10 or 11. That way they have a little reception, you know, after the swearing-in ceremonies.
You've got 130-something people full-time working in Sylacauga.
Full-time, not counting part-time.
You got the 30 or 40 part-timers
people
working.
Yeah.
Tell us about your staff and everything you got working.
Well, quite efficient. That makes it a lot easier on me. We got great department heads. We got 7 departments. Every department has their own specialties, what they have to handle, you know, and I enjoy being with them, trying to support them every way I possibly can. Most of your part-times come in with the fire department. They come in and out of there. But you
got 20 part-time firefighters now, I think, or somewhere
in
close
that neighborhood,
to that.
yes.
You got what, 42 policemen?
Police. Well, no, not 42. We've got about 38 right now.
Well,
we have policemen. Our police officers have been turning over. We'll be putting out now. We got a list of 3. We got 2 vacancies in the police department now, and we'll be looking at those 2 this week. You know, for the replacement.
I think another thing that you've got positive for Sylacauga, you've got a bunch of good working boards and authorities in Sylacauga.
We do.
And,
Very good boards and boards.
I think one of them, and I can make comment now since I'm no longer on it, I think the Planning Commission, which is your commission appointed by the mayor,
Yeah.
is active in doing a
Very
good
strong,
job.
and I can't thank you enough for all your input over the years. You served on that board for quite a while, and your input made a lot to keep us out of a lot of legal things, because things that you brought up.
Well, we've got a new comprehensive plan.
Yeah, we got that.
We got
out
a
of the way.
comprehensive plan.
Well, it's updated. You know.
It's been updated, and I think has it finally been approved?
Not completely, no.
Not
We
completely
got one more
approved.
stage to go.
There's
One more
still some
step to go.
things being worked on. You got the Commercial Development Authority that's
CDA.
being revamped and put back. I interviewed Brian
Brother
Talton.
Talton, he has been
yesterday
very
morning.
instrumental in strengthening that
You
CDA.
made the airport an authority.
Yes.
And
Well, that was from the past administration. The past administration made them
the
authority.
difference in authority, and it was explained yesterday, is an authority, a difference in a board is an authority has anything legally to do that you and I can do. We
Yeah.
can borrow, loan money,
Yeah.
or float bonds, anything
A little more
else.
responsibility
And
and accountability.
we've got a positive school board, a positive industrial development board, and just a lot of things going on. But let's talk about the Sims grass cutting deal now. I don't fully understand what's going on there.
Okay.
What's the purpose of hiring somebody to cut grass for the city?
Well, you can either do that, or else we can hire 3 or 4 more people and a bunch of equipment and everything else to do what, with the annexations, the taking into the mill village and the streets there, we're going to have to maintain that as well. We've expanded. And our present street department superintendent, he can't handle all this. Right now, we get calls in, well, the sign on 21 South, it needs cut, it looks terrible. The sign on 21 looks terrible. The sign on Fort Williams and 280 looks terrible. Now, with this contracting this, they will go out there and they'll cut it on a regular basis as needed. And we won't have to go through all this stuff. It'll save us a lot cheaper. We don't have to hire the people, we don't have the salaries, we don't have the benefits payout and everything else. So in the long run, it's going to be cheaper for the city, and still we'll maintain our outward appearance, you know, make it more attractive for people to come in. And of course, we have not given up on the, not the work release, the convicts or the work ladies, people out of Talladega. Whenever they do start, we'll use them mainly for litter pickup. litter is a big problem in our city. It's hard to get a control of. Thank goodness we got citizens who every Saturday are out there now picking up litters in different areas. And the city provides the containers for them to put it in.
Well, one of the things mentioned in the council meeting last night is the city-owned green spaces and planters. Are these people going to plant flowers and
No,
stuff like that?
They're going to cut grass, Bob.
I was just wondering what the word planters came in, because I know.
Well, the planters are the ones
many
on
of the
Broadway.
cities have.
These are the ones that got the crepe myrtles in. They'll trim the crepe myrtles. They'll maintain them properly. They'll put a base cover around the crepe myrtles, whether it's
Okay, another thing that the council had presented to them last night by Brian Taunton, the Commercial Development Authority new chairman, was essentially a wireless intercom system for downtown. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's great to have music. Like he brought out last night at the council meeting. I said, you go in the stores, they got a light music going. It makes it so more pleasant in shopping, and you get more people more comfortable in wanting to come downtown and walk the streets and all. And it'd be great for parades. When we have a Veterans Parade or Christmas Parade, they can put that type of music on those intercom systems. And it's I was surprised it's not going to be as much as I thought it was, but I think the council is going to be looking at it, and if everything works out good, I think they'll be putting them up. Well, and you go down Saturday, Friday, or in the evenings, you know, when you go downtown, you hear some light music.
Well, one of the things that I got, and the question I had, and you've even brought it up, is the type music. Mm-hmm. And the control of the music. The music will be strictly controlled on the system, and most of it will be a generic type music, I understand.
That's the way I understood it too.
Probably the things that you would get would be on certain dates you could get 40s or 50s music or other areas, but most of it would be modern, popular, middle of the road music and everything today. And I understand that there will be a central base location where announcements can be made from and all this. I didn't bother to ask Brian yesterday.
Well, Mr. Albany explained that to me too. He wouldn't be able to control it. Mm-hmm.
But I could only see maybe one objection on the city council, but who knows when it comes up to vote. And $18,000 $18,700,
and they've already accumulated some from the merchants.
And then less than $150 a month to maintain it. Yeah. And another thing, that if you got a group that wants to come downtown and set up on the street, they can hook into the system and play all over town. And it's, I
didn't know that, but that sounds pretty interesting.
But this is just. I really, most of the time I can find something negative about something and take a devil's take a devil's advocate, but it's just not.
Yeah. The concept is good, you know. It does sound good, but it does have to be looked into.
I know the budget is responsible of the mayor, and you've already turned your budget in. You turned your budget in to the council on time, and they're in the process now. Shall I use the term adjusting it, or readjusting it?
Reevaluating it.
Or what?
Well, that's their responsibility, you know, because they have control over all the money. My main interest is that we have enough funds for each 7 departments to run their departments for the rest of the year of 2021. Well, and it's important things that we need, you know. And we're not asking for anything outlandish and everything. Of course, appropriations is a little bit different. Now, they'll go to the various, you know, like the library, the Parks and Rec, SAFE, and the chamber and all that, which comes under appropriations, and they'll be going through that. But right now, what we're going through is the budget that I've requested for the 7 departments of the city to operate this city on.
Well, I'm well aware of the budget process and the time it takes, and that Sylacauga has a unique history of never getting a budget on time and always continuing with the years before budget and everything. But what determines an appropriation? I've often
service. How do you present something? How am I going to sell I need some money from the city. How am I going to get it? I got to give you something to make you believe this is what I'm going to do with it, and this is how it's going to help our city. This is how it's going to expand our city, in my opinion. What service are you providing? Do we really need that service? Yes, we need it. All right. Now, what's your budget? How does your budget look? This is what we had last year. They're supposed to turn in a budget to the council. They look at it. Yes, all this.
Swimming pool. That's still an issue that keeps
well, I know
coming
it is,
up.
Bob. It's, I've already expressed my
when
opinion
will
on
the
that.
public, in your opinion, Mayor, when will the public be able to go swimming in Sylacauga in a public pool again? You got the idea?
Well, if you wait for the community center to be built, it'll probably be 2 or 3 years. If you go ahead and put about $180,000 into the present pool and get it going, it'll be ready for next summer. I wish the council, as I mentioned before, I wish they'd back off and look at that. And then, because it's going to take time to build. We've got a lot of money invested in engineering already, and we haven't got anything solid to show for it.
But you say engineering and what?
Well, engineers that come in here, everything starts with planning and engineering. Yeah. You plan it, and then you get the engineers in there, and they figure it all up. And then
I can't ask you what the council is going to do, but as mayor, I'm going to put you on the spot. What are you going to push at the present time for a swimming pool? Are you going to push for the pool to be repaired? Or are you going, or what? I know the duty of the mayor is not to tell the council what to do.
No, I can't tell them
it's
what
to do what the council tells you to do.
Go to them and ask them for the money to operate the city.
You got to tell them what to do.
But it's their decision to make, in my opinion.
You can go out to a coffee shop if swimming pool comes up, exactly what we're talking about. And I've been asked to ask you, I've been asked to ask anybody else in the city, when can my kids go swimming in Sylacauga again?
Well, I'm just telling you the facts as I know them. Like I said, I wish the council would back off and go ahead and put the money into our present pool and have it ready for next summer, because it's going to take another 2 or 3 years to build a community center. I've also get hit with the question, so what are you going to do with the old one? Said, I don't know. I haven't heard. They haven't discussed this.
I wasn't even going to ask you that one. Other than having to talk to people like me and get interviewed on television and the radio, what's your biggest problem with being mayor?
COVID-19, we're getting over that thing. No, I enjoy it. The people, we got some wonderful people in Sylacauga. They're all working together. Everybody's, yes, we got a few little hiccups here and there, and they got people that want special attention and everything, but overall, we got a great city here. The people are beautiful, they work together, we reach out. You don't understand or even see, I get the opportunity to see how people have reached out and helped other people. Just what the people are doing on weekends, picking up trash in certain areas around our city, trying to keep it clean and neat. But,
do you know the fellow's name that's doing that? It's Randy somebody.
It wasn't Randy Jenks, was it?
No, that's picking up the trash.
Yeah.
I was sitting here, I've written it down someplace on all this paper in front of me, but there's a gentleman that every weekend has got a crew out picking up trash, and I apologize to him and his crew for not, but they are doing the city a real big service, and I've always said that the city doesn't need a one time a year pickup day.
No, it doesn't. That was more or less
a constant pickup day.
Constant pickup.
And this gentleman has really taken it upon himself.
Yes,
and
he has.
I think he should get a commendation.
Rick Happy, he's been working with them. He communicates with them every week, and that way they know where to put the receptacles, to place them for being convenient for them as they pick up the trash.
We got about 3 or 4 minutes, Mayor. Where do you see the city of Sylacauga down the road, 5 to 10 years? Well, maybe not what you see, but what would you like to see City College? Because we hadn't talked about industry or how to get industry, anything like that.
Well, we've got industry. You got Plastic Hell just now opened up this year. You got another industry that bought the Dobbins property out there off of Heigl Road. They're starting to build a new plant out there, and it's all related to calcium carbonate. We got growth. The economy is really going to judge basically with how this presidential election comes out. It's going to have a big bearing on how our growth is going. But right now, we've got things coming into Sylacauga in Peyton Park and also Marble City Square. And that's the reason it's important for me to get Peyton Boulevard widened and turn lanes and make it better flow for traffic. Not only that, but we can't go another year with Peyton Boulevard the way it is because of the cracks in it and everything else. This winter, we have a bad winter, it's going to tear the road up even worse, but we got to get that under control. Plus, the LDOT is coming into the area, and they're going to redo our James Peyton and our Gene Stewart intersections. They're going to widen, they're going to be double, twice so wide. And the lighting is going to be changed in that area. We got growth coming in there. And of course, downtown area, you know, with Alan Sanders and them, what they're doing with our buildings and building them up. We got stores down there. Yes, they're not big mansion stores. These are stores that people are working with, you know, hobbies that they enjoy doing, the potteries and things like that, that people enjoy. These are qualities of life you don't just find anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of things going on in Sylacauga, and one of the big problems, and I guess another day, another time, is talking about, got a lot of industry coming in, but too many of the people that come in with the industry don't live in Sylacauga, and that's, I think you will agree, that's one of our major problems.
It is.
And I think that's something you and
we need more industrial properties.
Council are working on. But
we got a new spec building's already being built. It'll be ready, and this is a good time for somebody to come in here and get that spec building because the interest rates are so low, you know. And that's another thing, you know, our tax rate. I was against raising taxes when I first came in office 4 years ago. I'm still not advocate of it either because we see such a volume of people coming from 15, 20, 30 miles away coming into Sylacauga. And think when you got TJ Maxx and Chick-fil-A and places like that, that brings people in there too. And the tax rate, they come in here and buy by volume. They go to Home Depot by volume because we pay 2% cheaper, you know, on stuff like that. It's really, people go a long way just to save a penny.
I think the one positive thing we can say about the pandemic in Sylacauga, the tax revenue, sales tax revenue is up for the year. Am I correct when I say that?
Yes, the total amount of sales tax revenue for 2020 is up. It's up a good bit from last year at the same time.
So, and I think it's because of maybe
People
the one
staying at
factor
home
you were talking about is
yeah.
we're 2% difference in sales tax, and if you go to
and people are staying home and shopping out rather, and we're going to have more retail and stores here that's going to keep people closer to Sylacauga, where they won't have to go to Inverness and other places throughout the.
Been talking with Mayor Jim Heigl this morning. Nothing in particular, a little bit of everything in general. And about the good things happening in Sylacauga, a lot of good things happening in Sylacauga. We talked about the museum, the library, the Penhote Trail, the Lake Howard, a lot of good things, a good working staff at Sylacauga. I think the mayor and council will be put in office, the new one, on November 2nd.
And we'll work together to
somewhere around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. But
you better check on that, I'm just guessing.
But Jim, nice to have you with us today.
Well, it's good to be with you, Bob. Appreciate it.
And hope to see you again soon. And we'll play golf soon.
Well, we need to get around to golf, and I thank the citizens of Sylacauga for your confidence in me as your mayor of the city of Sylacauga.
We'll be back with more Sylacauga Daybreak right after this.